Hey everybody, welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved, the island. It is Big Daddy of Hop Gaming here, and we are ready to do an episode that I'm kind of excited about because it's going to be a simple episode because I want to do something that I don't normally get to do being as new to this game. I've only been playing a few months. But I actually want to do a little bit of what I like to call the Kibble episode, Learning Kibble. I wanted to call it Learning Kibble in Bits because we're going to cover some other stuff. But today I want to talk about each of the different pieces of kibble, what they're used for, how to get them, what you need, and how to cook them. Also, I want to talk about three other areas that you're going to need: focal chili, Lazarus chowder, which you need for different types of kibble in the higher end. And then also, we're going to talk about sweet veggie cakes. We're going to make one of those as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, to do that, I had to get a little bit busy. So as you can see, we got JoJo. And you've probably met Homembi and Gridlock. And oh my goodness, yes, I forgot. I have learned a trick. And we're going to get to those here in a little bit. I actually need the poop, sorry. But as you can see, we got Mandy from the old base on Herbivore Island. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take her poop too. And we got Opie and Homembi and Gridlock and all of them. Now, you're going to notice there's going to be a lot of eggs coming because I have, the idea was to get some breeding pairs of different animals. We found Sura, who was like a level 125 when we tamed her, down near the fork in the river, probably a half a mile to a mile down from our, hello there, down from our base. And then of course I found Spartacus actually just further down one of the forks, and he was only like a level 10, so he didn't take long to get, but she was kind of tough. Then also we got two theories, which obviously are dropping some of those eggs. And we got iguanodons, moss chops, and of course a Utatyranus pair. Okay, so what I did was I actually turned, for one whole day, I cranked up mating. And I was running around about every 3 minutes, running around in circles, picking up 8 to 12 eggs around the entire compound. And I eventually got almost 2 refrigerators full worth of fertilized eggs, which is great to have. Then I discovered something from watching other videos and just getting into some other people's series, that I could actually didn't even have to have a breeding pair. As long as I had a female that could drop an egg, I could crank up the lay egg timer and I could just be picking up eggs like crazy. Well, I did that, and as you can see, eggs are dropping like crazy. So yeah, so just know that you can actually do that in your settings. That's pretty amazing. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at different kinds of kibble today. We're going to be looking at all kinds of different things, and the original recipes, you can cook these 2 different ways. You can cook them in a cooking pot, okay, the cooking pot, which you learn really early. In the first 7 or 8 levels of engrams, you learn the cooking pot, which means you could start making kibble really early if you're able to, get a female tamed, and you can start picking up some of those eggs. And honestly, I would say that your lay egg timer would also work on wild dinos as well. So possibly there might be more eggs in the wild. It's a riskier pickup, but you might be able to do that. But anyway. We are not going to be doing that. The recipes all of them will call for 1 container of water. Now that can be a water skin, a water jar, a canteen, whatever, of water in the recipe. However, if you remember from our greenhouse episode a couple of times ago, you'll know that we irrigated because the industrial cooker is constantly irrigated. So you always have water. So in these recipes, I will make sure I tell you that water is necessary for an individual's helping. But please remember that you need, if you're going to do a cooking pot, you're going to have to add the water individually. We are going to be working from a constantly irrigated industrial cooker today. Now the first kind of kibble we're going to look at is the basic kibble. The basic kibble is honestly for your basic creatures. Let's first talk about what the actual recipe is. Okay, first of all, you're going to need 1 piece of cooked meat. You're going to need 1 extra small egg. You're going to need 10 amar berries, 5 majo berries, 10 tinto berries, and 5 pieces of fiber. Now, I want to thank, as you'll see at the bottom there, I want to thank the Split Pack streamer from Twitch. I reached out to him today to ask if I could use these, and he graciously let me have permission to use his recipe graphics, and so I want to thank him for that. I will also leave a link to his Twitch page in the description as well as a thank you, so make sure you say thanks for that. We appreciate him letting us use these. But as you can see, the small eggs you can get from a dilo, a dodo, a lystro, a featherlight, well, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, kakaru or whatever. It's a penguin. It's a penguin. A parasaur or a vulture. Now, also, any tech variations, like a tech parasaur, counts for this as well. Now, what you'll do is you'll take all the ingredients, you'll bring them over here. We have a parasaur egg. Okay, we need to go get some meat because we have spoiled meat, so that's not good. Okay, access inventory, throw the meat in. Now, we got all the ingredients that we need. We got the fiber, the majo berries, the amar berries, the tinto berries, the parasaur egg, the cooked meat, and of course the water is automatically hooked up. You turn on your cooker, and all that stuff turns into, you guessed it, basic kibble. Now, basic kibble, none of these kibbles will last forever. If you make a kibble, just like a lot of all the food items, it will have a basic spoil time. You're looking at basically 3 days. It's 3 days of game time, not 3 days of real time, but still, it's basically 3 days, and the countdown starts the moment it's created. So, as you can see, we have our basic kibble. Now, with the basic kibble, okay, with the basic kibble, you are able to tame or to use it on a dodo, a penguin, a dilo, a parasaur, also a phioma, or even the Mesopithecus. Now, what's a Mesopithecus? Let me show you, because Biggie Smalls, if you didn't notice, we have Biggie Smalls now. What's up, big dog? This is Biggie Smalls. He is a Mesopithecus. Basically, it's a monkey, and the cool thing about the monkey is he'll throw poop. He will throw poop, straight up throw poop whenever he's sitting on your shoulder, and it's hilarious to watch. So, but that is your basic kibble. Now, the next kind of kibble that we're going to look at is your simple kibble. Simple kibble has a lot more uses because some of the early tames, simple kibble is something that's going to help you get them. You know, your pteranodons, your trikes, and whatnot, all will love simple kibble, okay? And so you need what we call a small egg, okay? A small egg, majo berries, 5 majo berries, small egg, 1 piece of cooked fish, okay? So I need to go get the cooked fish. You're going to need 1 piece of cooked fish. And I would like to say I could take a whole, you know, I'm taking 2 because I'm afraid that one's going to go bad while I'm running around. You also need to get a carrot. I'm not sure I have carrots in here. What else do I need? We need 2 rock carrots, and the majo berries and fiber are already in there. So I need to get 2 rock carrots. Let's see, do I have it in the other fridge real quick? I think, yeah, it's mostly eggs in here. No, we got carrots. All right. Let's take 3 or 4 just in case. Okay. We're going to run down. We're going to shove these in here. I can't believe all these eggs. That's going to be awesome. We're just going to make 1 piece of each of these kibbles so that we can kind of give you an example of what's going on here. You got 1 piece of cooked fish meat, 2 of those, and a trike egg. Everything else is already in here, okay? We've got the majo berries, we've got the fiber, the water's already cooked in, all right? So we're gonna make it right here, and that's what it is. Okay, so we put the trike egg in, boom, we have our simple kibble. Now, what exactly would you use this kind of kibble to tame? Well, it's very simple. Almost anything that you have been able to use their eggs, you can also use to feed the kibble to them. Archaeopteryx, the duplicitous. Now, it's not the big thing, it's the little smiley looking thing on a different world than the island. Gallimimus, the simple kibble is also what you have to feed the giant queen bee, so you know I had to have simple kibble already. Let's see, the Ichthyornis, some of the annoying birds, I mean the iguanodon, Megaloceros, you know, the big elk, the Morellatops, the raptor, the trike, the unicorn, and the packy. Now, also with any unicorn or anything like that, we also have to remember that also that counts as the equus. The equus, ironically, is different according to some of the things I've seen. Regular kibble for the equus and simple kibble for the unicorn. So that is basically the information for the simple kibble. Now for the regular kibble is a little bit different because the regular kibble involves some jerky and some corn and some potatoes. Okay, so regular kibble, and we're going to go back here and we're going to get some of our materials that we're going to need. It takes, for this, you have to have a medium egg. Now, as you can see, a medium egg can be an Anki egg, a Baryonyx egg, a Carnotosaurus, a Dimetrodon, a Diplodocus, an Ichthyornis, an Iguanodon, a Caprisuchus, a Kentrosaurus, a Pachyenosaur, Pelagronus, a Scorpion, a Sarco, a Stego, a Terror Bird, a Thorny Dragon, a Troodon, or a Velonosaur. Now, also, you know, if there happen to be any tech variations of those out there, which depending on the special seasons and what they decide to do could happen, those are also medium eggs that can be used for this recipe. The recipe calls for 1 of these eggs. We have our do have our iguanodon egg, so we're ready for that. It also calls for a piece of cooked jerky. We'll get that down here in a little bit. It calls for 2 long grass. It calls for 2 savaroots. And I'm taking all kinds of corn. So, but it calls for 2 of each of these, so we got those. Then it calls for fiber and water and 1 cooked beef jerky. Now, in case you did not know, cooked jerky is basically you take cooked meat, okay? You take cooked meat, you put it in the preserving bin with spark powder and oil. Now, it takes a little while, but if you do that, then the cooked meat will become cooked meat jerky, and you need cooked meat jerky to make this recipe. Okay, that's everything I do believe. Now we should be able to get our regular kibble. There it is, regular kibble. Okay, so now we've got 1 piece of regular kibble. Alright, now what can you do with a regular kibble? Well, you use it to tame just about anything that's on this list already. But for regular kibble, you are able to tame the anglerfish, the Ankylosaurus, the Baryonyx, the Beelzebuffu, that's the frog, the turtle, basically the Carnotosaurus, the Dimetrodon, the Diplodocus, as you can see, the Doedicurus, also the Equus, the Gigantopithecus, which is just what we look at as a Bigfoot, a walking, a tall monkey, the Caprisuchus, the Kentrosaurus, the Limantria, that's the praying mantis, the pelican, basically the Pteranodon, the Pullman the scorpion, I think, the Prolovia, the saber-tooth, the Sarco, the Stegosaurus, the terror bird, the Venomor, and the thorny dragon. So those are the things that you can tame with the regular Kibble. And Kibble makes things so much easier. It just really does. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at, our next item up on the Price is Right is going to be Superior Kibble. Now, Superior Kibble, well, it's actually pretty cool. I like using Superior Kibble. I have found that for me it was a little harder to get because I had to find the right animals to make it, and Superior Kibble was the one that I actually struggled a little bit longer to get because I didn't know which egg I was going to be able to get. I didn't know if I needed to get another RG or if I wanted to. I ended up going with the Moss Chops eggs. So that's the one that we have, is the Moss Chops egg. But here's what you need to make a Superior Kibble, okay? What you need for Superior Kibble is this. You need a large egg. Now, a large egg can come from an Allosaurus, an Argy, a Mantis, a Megalania, a Megalosaurus, a Moss Chops, a Snow Owl, a Spino, a Tapejara, or a Titanoboa. You can get the large egg for any of those. For today, we're going to use a Moss Chops egg, which we have right here. So we are going to use that. What else do we need? Well, you need prime jerky. So again, it's taking cooked prime meat and getting the jerky. You also need 2 citronals, 2 rare mushrooms. Do I have rare mushrooms on me already? I do not, so I need to get some. I think I have some in here. You need 2 rare mushrooms, and then you also need to get 1 sap, which is already in our cooker. You also need 5 fiber, which is already in our cooker, but I need to get some citronals. So let's get the citronals out here. As you can see, those are the, looks like the limes, or whatever you want to call them. I'm taking 3 because, well, it looks like they may run out of juice, so to speak. Citronals juice, get it? I make dad jokes. I am Big Daddy for a reason. Okay, so we're going to get over here and we're going to put all these things in here. The Moss Chops eggs, the prime, and then we're going to move these. The sap is already in there. The fiber is already in there. There are the citronals. We have our egg. This ought to give us our Superior Kibble. And there it is. We have our Superior Kibble. Yay! Superior Kibble. Okay. So we have our Superior Kibble. Now with Superior Kibble, you are able to tame the Allosaurus, the Argy, the Castroides, that's the beaver to get water, the Daedon, which is the pig that has the healing properties, the dire bear, the dire wolf, I can't pronounce that, the Dunklosaurus, I think it is, gas bags, the woolly mammoth, the Megalodon, the Megalosaurus, Megatherium, very important for the broodmother fight, the Paracetheum, which is like a giant weird-looking horse and camel combo, the Plesiosaur, the Snow Owl, the Tapejara, and the woolly rhino. So you'll be able to tame all of those with these kibbles. Now, these next 2 kibbles are special. There's a reason they're special. These next 2 kibbles have an extra ingredient. The extra ingredient is a specific kind of either chili or chowder. Okay, so we have the next one is going to be exceptional kibble. Now for an exceptional kibble, you need an extra large egg, a focal chili, a rare flour, 10 majo berries, and 5 fiber. We'll get to the recipe. We'll repeat it again here in a second. But we need to make the focal chili first. Now, I may have some focal chili already done, but allow me to give you the actual recipe for focal chili. Focal chili takes 9 pieces of cooked meat. Now, this cooked meat can be cooked regular meat, it can be cooked fish meat, or it can be cooked meat jerky, but 9 pieces. It also takes 5 citronals, 20 amar berries, 20 azel berries, 20 tinto berries, 10 majo berries, and of course 1 helping of water, but if you're using the industrial cooking pot, you're already irrigated. That ought to give us a focal chili, and it does. So we have our focal chili, okay, which is awesome. Now we are going to make our exceptional kibble. So we have our focal chili in there, okay. We have our extra large egg. Now our extra large eggs can be Brontosaurus, Quetzal, Basilisk, a Giga egg, a Rex egg, or a Therizinosaur. So a Theri egg, there it is. We're going to put that in there. I'm going to turn this off right now because I don't want it cooking up yet until I'm ready for it. There's the rare flour, and now with the egg, the focal chili, the rare flour, and then we've already got the majo berries and the fiber in there, and the water's already connected. This should give us our exceptional kibble, and there it is. There is our exceptional kibble. So that's pretty cool. What exactly do you tame? What will you tame with this exceptional kibble? And exceptional kibble, well, quite frankly, it's exceptional. And the reason it's exceptional is because you can tame the Basilosaurus, the Brontosaurus, the Giganotosaurus, the Carcinos, I can't pronounce that, the Magnamar, whatever it is. It's a big giant fire. It's a scary looking thing. Mosasaur, Quetzal, Rex, Espino, and also the Therizinosaur. So you can do all of those with this exceptional kibble. But all of that pales in comparison to the next kind of kibble, and it's the final kind of kibble that we are going to be talking about, and that is extraordinary kibble. Now, the extraordinary kibble has some very extraordinary needs when it comes to what exactly you are going to need to make it. And one of them is the Lazarus Chowder. Now, as you can see, I have Lazarus Chowder already made. So I'm going to go ahead and just take one of those so that I've got it done and in my box there. But let me tell you what the recipe for Lazarus Chowder is. A Lazarus Chowder needs 9 pieces of cooked meat. Once again, it's cooked meat jerky or cooked fish meat or cooked regular meat. It needs 5 savaroots, potatoes, 5 long grass, that's corn. It also needs 10 majo berries, 2 narcotics, and of course water. So you can make that in a cooking pot, or you can have the irrigated industrial cooker and you can make a whole bunch of it at the same time. So anyway, just keep that in mind. But that's what a Lazarus Chowder, that's how you make a Lazarus Chowder. Now, the Lazarus Chowder is just one of the ingredients. The ingredients for extraordinary kibble are start with a special egg. Now, special eggs are special for a reason. They're hard to come by. Special eggs come from particular creatures. The Deinonychus, the Magmasaur, the Wyvern, the Utatirannus, the Rock Drake, and the Hesperornis golden egg. Now, the Hesperornis golden egg, that only happens after every once in a while. You're not guaranteed. They lay an egg every time they catch, kill, and eat 5 fish. In their hunting, swimming around, and then they go up on the side of the bank there, on the beach or wherever they're at, and they'll drop an egg. And it is honestly not guaranteed it'll be a golden egg. Sometimes it's just a regular Hesperornis egg, which qualifies at a much lower rank. So the golden egg is one of the items that can be used here. We are, of course, going with a Utatirannus egg, as you can see here, because that's why we went to the trouble of getting those 2 Uties from the snow biome. So we're going to have those. It needs majo berries, 10 of them, fiber, 5 of them, both of those, and water, all of them already connected. The other piece of the equation for extraordinary kibble is honey. You have to have 1 bee honey. Now, a couple things to understand. If you have bug repellent, you need to spray it before you go to the hive, or as you're seeing, you'll get stung for a few seconds after you enter the inventory. It doesn't matter what kind of armor you're wearing. You see, I'm wearing ghillie armor. So wearing ghillie armor does not make it less likely to get stung as you enter the beehive. So just remember that. You're going to take a small health hit unless you want to use a bug repellent before stepping in to your inventory. Okay, so you're going to bring all that up here to the industrial cooker. Okay, and here we go. We got the Lazarus Chowder, the UD egg, and the honey. Those are the big ones. Major berries and fiber already there. So we'll turn it on, and we should have our extraordinary, there it is, extraordinary kibble. Let me tell you what the extraordinary kibble will help you tame. All the good stuff. The golems, the griffins, both kinds of golems there, the rock elemental, the maglania, the thylacoleo, and the Eudotyrannus are all tameable with this extraordinary kibble. One of the things that I want to tell you about kibble, it's great. It absolutely is a godsend when you're trying to tame. No matter how high or even keel you have your taming rate set, kibble makes a massive difference, at least a 5 times difference in the speed that you will be able to tame whatever animal you're going after. Now, anything that you have that if you use the kind of kibble it usually wants or higher, it will tame at that rate, okay? But if you use something lower, let me use a well, let's find a different, let's find something middle of the road that I can kind of use to explain it. A superior kibble. So let's pull up something for superior kibble, okay? Let's say you're trying to you're trying to tame a dire wolf, okay? A dire wolf takes superior kibble. That's its preferred kibble. Now, if you use exceptional or extraordinary, you will still get that same high taming effect because anything equal or higher will give you that. But if you don't have those and you try to use simple or regular or basic simply because it's kibble and it's got to be better, it's not. In fact, using not a lower level non-preferred kibble will actually drop your taming speed to barely a half to 2/3 of a normal space. You'd actually have a better chance with regular raw meat for a carnivore or basic majo tinto or any of the berries for your herbivores. So it is best to find and get better kibble if you can. So that's something important. Now there's one more recipe that I want to discuss, one more recipe that I want to get into, and that is the wonderful sweet veggie cake. I love sweet veggie cake. Sweet veggie cake is actually a lot of fun. Now it also needs this is what all it needs. If you use a cooking pot, you're going to need 2 honey, 4 sap, 2 carrots, 2 corns, 2 potatoes, 4 stimulants, 25 fiber, and 1 thing of water. Now, if you're using the industrial cooker like we are, don't worry about the water part because let's just be honest, you're hooked up to water constantly. Okay, so we're going to come here, we're going to throw this stuff in here. You crank that up, and there it is. We have our sweet veggie cake. I love sweet vegetable cake. It's interesting. It's used really only for 2 animals. They took the buff that it used to give the turtles and some others away. So you can't really give that for any food buffs on those animals. The 2 animals that need it are the ovis, okay, and that is basically the sheep. And the sheep that you always find in the terrible snow biome or some of the worst places you could ever find them. That's where you'll find them. And the other place that you'll see them is usually you might find them in plains areas, flatland areas, but they're always spawning in the worst places with a lot of danger. That's why, number one, they're rare, they're hard to find. When they do spawn in, a lot of times they get killed really fast. So you need to find them, feed them a veggie cake, and you'll have them tamed. The other animal that takes a veggie cake to tame is the akatina. That's the snail. The snail is a thing that makes the akatina paste, but also gives you some polymer over time. And it's also the only food the akatina will eat after you've tamed it. So you need to be able to feed that akatina a vegetable cake depending on how you have your food drain set in your options. If it's a regular 1-to-1, you're probably going to have to create a veggie cake every day, day and a half of game time in order to keep the akatina having their food filled. Otherwise, you risk your akatina starving and dying. So that's everything. That's your kibble. That's your lesson on the kibble. That's your lesson on the sweet veggie cake and everything else. Hey, Fonzie. And we thank you for joining us for this. If this content was fun, if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and comment on it. Let me know what you thought. Share it with some other people as well. Any help for us would be great. We would greatly appreciate it, and it really does help us out. Also, if you've been watching the channel and you like what you see, but you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, we would ask that you do that. And when you hit that subscribe button, also click on that notification bell so that you can be notified every time we drop a video, whether it be yet another Ark video or one of the many other assorted videos that Isaiah puts out, whether it be wrestling or Warzone or whatever, Minecraft, whatever it may be. We're trying to drop all kinds of 3, 4, 5 videos a week, and we're just having a lot of fun doing this. So please like the channel for that. Anyway, that's all I've got for this episode. Next episode, I think we're going to consider building a new base and going somewhere else and building a base that will include a marina so that we can house our new megalodons and see what we can put together on another side of the island. But until then, have fun playing some Ark, enjoy yourself, love the grind, and be good to yourself. And until then, we'll see y'all later. Take care.